Good morning, folks, or at least it's morning here. Yes, Saturday morning, which, tell me what you think about that. Jake doesn't like it because he's working. I am sorry, dude. I actually have found more and more lately that Saturdays sometimes work. This week in particular, we were out of town for a few days, so I could not do the evening breaks. Kool-Aid, I know the late breaks are not your favorite, so I'm glad this one is not that. Oh, and you're just jumping on because you're... Oh, no, you have your Reds. Okay. Yeah, there was a Saturday a few, probably months ago at this point, where we had a good crowd. I think I'd scheduled it further in advance, but ended up doing some extra stuff. Truth is, I just work them in where I can because that's the kind of place this is. I appreciate it, man. Everything's good here. Just summertime stuff. I also have like 8 or 9 Topps Now cards, kind of, sort of in order of when we ordered them, but not exactly. And then I'll post an update to the Discord. But our Mandalorian and Grogu have, I don't know, I've had 3 or 4 messages from Topps about the delay. And then every time I ask them about it, they say wait till a different date and then ask them again. That third date has now come and gone, so I will ask them again. But honestly, I'm getting a little worried about that one. I don't know what the deal is with those. Everything else is chugging along just fine. The ones I have today arrived in the window we would have expected them to, so. We will start with the All-Star Game foil. No. Yeah, hopefully. The All-Star Game Mega. I did open 2 of these as personals. And while they are not nearly as cool as last year's, they are still cool. You get your base cards that look like any other SKU from this series too, but the others are parallels as opposed to last year where the entire set was a standalone. I have been in the 2 I opened, and I saw several others opened. There have been numbered cards in all of them. I don't know if that's will remain after we open some volume, but Chavez Ravine Fight Club, happy Saturday morning. Good luck to everybody. Here's our first parallel. Jonathan Pintaro on the All-Star Game. What do you guys think of that design? Stars and glove work, Andres Jimenez. Baseball card brunch. Gearing up. See, I got to get my, I got to stay in shape for the big chrome breaks on Wednesday. Although the big case break will be the week after, but tons of chrome. Try to close up the one that's open this weekend and get that ready. Rod Carew on the All-Star Game. I'm going to go ahead and sleeve them all just because I think they're cool. Yeah, we'll have a couple of PYTs for Wednesday, release day. And I got a bunch of other product that'll be available for whatever we want to get into. Trey Savage. What are you guys doing this weekend? All-Star, Nasim Nunez. Carlos Correa on the 91. Ime. Very nice. I think he picked up steam a little bit as we entered the break. Is that right? Ime on the, is that hollow? Anybody having a mimosa? I did have orange juice, but I was missing an ingredient. Gavin, Lux, and Bubba. I am curious. I'll ask in the Discord, but I'm curious what people think about the fill style of the partial player break. I love this card. Excellently framed. I'm trying to find a balance where I don't get to just randomly decide what everything's worth, which I guess I do for PYTs, but for player, it seemed like a good idea to do it a little differently. Ryan Sandberg, and I think it's working, but I'm very curious what others think. Willie Mays, rather. Christian Moore, Titans. Henry Davis. It's a long fill, but I'm okay with it if you guys are. And hopefully it gives enough preference to PCers when claiming, so they always get the first dibs. But I'm open to tweaking it. We have an orange behind Christian Moore, and it is Rafael Flores. I think these are still the 25, so this is the orange All-Star Game foil. That does keep the streak of having numbered cards in every mega. I don't know if that's really true. 7 of 25 to the Pirates. Loch Ness Monster. That's pretty. I'm kind of a sucker in general for any time they do a logoed repeat logo thing. I like Logo Fractor, the Topps foil, anything like that. I'm usually a fan. Rafael Flores on the orange, 7 of 25. Yeah, the only thing I would ever chime in on is if it looks like somebody maybe misunderstood and they have a really high price on someone, and I don't mean it as an insult to the player, but I'd be like, I don't think you need to be paying whatever for this guy, but a lot of that is really subjective, and everybody would have a different opinion. Mason Wynn on the All-Star. George Brett and Rainbow Lourdes Gurriel. One man's opinion and one man's only, but I think the way it's gone so far is roughly the way I would have expected it to go. And time will tell, but I am happy to add more product. What I don't like is having the product unknown. I need there to be a floor. I think that's the only fair way to do it. So the floor is a case of blasters, obviously. It can go up, but it will not go down. He's Savage on the Titans. Luis Torrens, former Mariner. purple hollow to 250. I really need to like study. I don't know why I cannot get these. There's something about the hollow versus shimmer versus sand glitter that I cannot square away in my head, and that was Mr. Edwin Diaz. Twins. Okay. I don't think we have any Twins fan on. I'm having a debate. On my watch list I have camo Joe Ryan set because I'm still looking for one. This came up in the camo from Series 2. And I'm trying to determine if Joe Ryan is in this photo, and I don't think he is, but I need a Twins fan to help me out. Because if he is, I may... Oh, boy. If he is, I may be trying to get that camo team card to go in my Joe Ryan camo and Independence Day PC. I need to check in with W. Catilla. All-Star Nick Rackett. What a racket. Bryce Matthews, Ichiro. This is a base card, and I'm going to sleeve it because it's cool. And that is also a base card. Also, it seems entirely possible, maybe I'm wrong, Murakami on the Titans. That I may be looking for another Joe Ryan and update if he's traded. May have to double dip this year. That was our Murakami Titans. There's a Flores base to go with the orange. Adley. Owen Cassie. Satchel Paige. That's a sweet photo. I've seen it, but looks old-timey, but not old-timey. Kirby. Frelick. Giants team card. Nolan McLean and Ricky. Sweet photo also. With the bag. What a ridiculous... AL stolen base leader, Ricky Henderson, 130. This is in 1982. Second, Damaso Garcia with 54. That is stupid good. Giants. Tarek Skubal, speaking of people with new teams possibly. All-star behind Fortes is Alec Burleson. Skubal, NATO on the glove work. Brandon Lau. All right, last pack out of the Mega. And we get on to the finest. Pirates team card. All-Star Game MVP, Cody Bellinger. Chisholm. I think this is a relic. Freeman. There you go, Chavez. There's Jazz. It is a base relic on Freeman, but out of a Mega. That is the other thing I actually saw coming out of Megas with some regularity. It is the napkin patch. My top loader's a little scratched there. Must be the Fanatics jersey. It looks very thin. Like some of the threads are going to pull out. Freeman on the relic. All right. And now for the finest. Good luck. This is my last box of finest, at least for now. I may have a line on another one, but I think we'll wait until Chrome. All right, here we go. James Wood. Big dumper. Please return to form. Churio. Refractor, a Savage. Very nice. That is the common, but it is a refractor. Drew Gilbert. O'Neal Cruz. Seiya Suzuki on World's Finest. Aaron Judge. This is either rare or uncommon. That is rare. Very nice, Judge. I haven't seen that one yet. That is to the difference. Bogarts X-Fractor, uncommon. And Wyatt Langford, also uncommon. Sleeve heavy product here. Nice, Judge. Nice pack to start out with, too. Savage Refractor. Judge Rare. I will refrain from making a joke about what's about to happen to the ball he's trying to catch. I'm sure it will land in his glove. Seriously, though, nice Judge card. Montgomery. Eldridge. Beavers. First auto, Chandler Simpson to the Rays. Is that our friend? Target distinct, very nice. Base finest auto on Mr. Chandler Simpson. Yankees and Dodgers going out at it. Connolly early. Purple X-Fractor on Junior Caminero. That's a very pretty card. That is numbered to 75, and it is his rare version. That's a nice Caminero. Soto. Oh my goodness. Team Finest. I believe that's the base, but behind it, that's a nice card. Mizorowski, Team Finest, Orange, 19 of 25 to DMX. Nice hit. Pretty sure this has already outpaced the last Finest box I opened. Orange Mizorowski to 25. That is awesome. Oops, wrong one. Gorgeous. Very nice. Ime, you're going to have to step down for some Mizorowski. And a very nice Caminero to 75 on the purple X-Fractor. That was a very nice pack. Caglione. Oh, we haven't even seen these ones yet. Caglione X-Fractor. Base. Francisco Lindor. Uncommon. Fortunately, my case of 55-point top loaders arrived. My resupply arrived just in time for Finest and Chrome. I'm going to need a bunch of it. Lindor is an uncommon. And Soto's Finest was a base. So nice start to the break, to the box. Yes, sir. Bobby Witt's in the back there. Springer. Devers. Cassie. Christian Moore. Kyle Tucker. Gunner. Arrivals, Chase DeLauder. These are always a little hard. I'm pretty sure that's base, but yes. Chase DeLauder on the arrivals. Got an Aqua behind Edwin Diaz Finest. And it's Yamamoto to 199. Bobby Witt is going to be uncommon. Nice. Solid for Chavez. I love it because I haven't mentioned during this particular stream, but I appreciate the hookup on this Finest box. This is thanks to Shinjiro. Yams Aqua. Bobby Witt. Chase DeLauder. I think 75% of these cards end up getting sleeved before they go out. Or top loaded, or both. Mizorowski. Sal Stewart. Young-Hoo Lee. McGonigal. Arenado is a refractor. Treya Savage is base. Oh boy. To the Reds. I think he's with us. Kool-Aid. Sal Stewart to 275 on the yellow. I think I said gold. Finest Bobby Witt. That is his common, but it is, I think, yellow. To 275. Bobby Witt Finest. Yamamoto is rare. What a pack. Tarek Skubal, X-Fractor, and PCA Uncommon. Very nice. This is a fun box. Couple of Yamamotos for you. Pretty sure Kool-Aid's looking for Sal Stewart. That's Yamamoto's rare, running out of space to show it off. Finest Witt. Sal Stewart to 275. It's going to supplant Bobby. McGonigal is common, but I'm sleeving it because he's cool. Arenado is a refractor. And Yamamoto's going to force his way in. We still got 2 more packs and 1 more auto. I hadn't even thought about that. Berlin Eyes Man, Gerangelo Sinjay just made AAA, and he is an ambidextrous pitcher. Jacob Mizorowski. We're going to go sleeve him. Roman Anthony. These are the dudes, man. Juan Soto. Zach Cole is our auto. To the Stros. Cole was tearing it up for a while. I don't know what he's doing right now. Lochneff with this card as well. This is your Cole. Yeah, I need to get to Cheney. Good pack. Good box. Nolan Arenado. Karos. Team Finest. Ronnie. Finest Timelines. Mr. Pujols. Mackenzie Gore, X-Fractor, and Nolan McLean, uncommon. Finally getting their pack collation squared away in my head. Wish this wasn't so expensive. I love these cards. But I guess that's probably part of the why. Who for the Mariners? Sinjay got traded. He's sadly no longer with our organization. Montes, however, is tearing it up. He just got promoted to AAA. I'm going to throw a party when he finally makes it. Ime. Yelich. Merrill. Green. Hunter Barco to 99. Pirates. 60 of 99. That's a sweet shot. I think that's going to be his uncommon. Hello, Mr. Nick Kurtz. Look at that. I haven't even seen one of these. Super rare Nick Kurtz. Full disclosure, I forgot there was such a thing as super rare. You got the mug and you got the player. I forgot there was super rares. Have not hit one yet until now. The A's go to Andrew P. Super rare Nick Kurtz. Shinjiro picked us an amazing box, or on Tops picked him an amazing box. However that works. Aaron Judge's rare is getting supplanted. Very nice. Tarek Skubal on the World's Finest. Griffey swings. There it goes. Long fly ball. Right field. It is number 600. I was in, I want to say, let's see if it says Cleveland. I think they're playing Cleveland. It doesn't say. Oh, at Florida. Must have been when he was sitting on 599. Maybe I was near Cincinnati. I was thinking he was on the road in Cleveland, but he was sitting on 599. I happened to be in Ohio, and I tried to go to the game. He didn't end up hitting it, which I knew, but I thought he ended up going home. But apparently he hit it in Florida. Anyways, there's history. Number 600 for the kid. Harper, X-Fractor. And Julio is a uncommon. That's a pretty card. I don't normally go for Griffey in the Reds uni, but we'll make an exception for hit. One more, number 600. 99. What's going on here? On the Barco and Skubal on the World's Finest. That was a nice box. Barco to 99. Yamamoto rare. Speaking of rare, Aaron Judge rare. X-Fractor Kingdome out of the Mega. Freeman patch. Torrens purple. Ime. Junior Caminero to 75 on the purple X-Fractor, and that is his rare parallel. Simpson auto. We're going to save that one. Savage refractor. We're going to get to the future Dodger jokes in a second. Zach Cole auto. Sal Stewart to 275. Yamamoto Aqua Yams to 199 on the rare. And then Rafael Flores out of the Mega to 25 on the All-Star Game foil. And then Nick Kurtz, super rare, and Jacob Mizorowski to 25 on Team Finest. much, much, much better box than the last finest break I did. Excellent. That makes me a little more likely. I have a possible chance at another box, but I was pretty reserved, even though I know it was a small sample size out of the one I ran already, because it was not great. You know what? Maybe it was 500 I'm thinking of. I'm going to have to look at the year. This would have been 2000 and... You know what? I bet it was 500. It was 2004, I think. I should know these things. I think you're right. I think that might be the one I was in Ohio for. All right, we're gonna get some tops now. We've got 7 or 8 packages, and some of them have multiples. So we'll start out with the one I can't figure out what's in here. So it's possible that this is a card I ordered for a personal, but when you order multiples at a time, sometimes they come separately, and then the tracking does weird stuff. So we're gonna find out, and I think most of these are full. I'll double check. Eastern Conference champs. I think this is me and is it me and 10th floor? No, that doesn't make sense. Let me pull up my list. Maybe this is just me. I think flag is the only one I had. Yeah, I think maybe this was a personal order. We'll look at them together. I'll double check. This might have been a personal purchase. Knicks Eastern Conference champs. Do not worry, I will make sure. Sometimes with the non-baseball, I forget. That makes sense because it would have been ordered at the same time as another card. I've seen now come in a box for 2 things. For the encased stuff. So like the Mandalorian and Grogu that I'm waiting on for the Discord, that will come in a box because it's so large. And I've also seen it if you order in enough volume. I think it's discretion of the packer though, because they could have gone in an envelope. But I've seen it on a large order where they just decided to put it in a small box. 2 in a jewel case inside a Black Now envelope inside a big box. Have you opened it? All right, this is Acuna card number 260. What did Acuna do? Grand Slam over the Green Monster. This is Drew Morg and Z Water Bear. This was also single purchase, so not a 5-pack. 2 base. Yeah, I feel like that's the packer just being careful or something. I have not seen that personally. I was hoping you were going to tell me there was a big boy in there. Drew Morg and Z Waterbear. There's a hit in here. Gold foil. I love this photo. Acuna over the monster. 50-50 shot between Drew Morg and Z Waterbear, who gets the gold. But even the base, I love this. Anytime you have that long lens of the plate, whether it's being stolen or being hit from. Very nice. The wheel will need to come alive. Yes. I'm going to go ahead and top load this one. Normally I put them back in the jewel case, but it seems kind of silly on a one-off here. All right. Nice. Out of just 2, getting a gold. Very nice. I do believe tops win, not for some things, but for one thing. When they say that it is based on card volume and card volume alone. So if you bought 20 singles, there's our lucky hit. Or if you bought a 20 pack, they tell us that you have the same odds to hit something. And I do think that that is true. All right, next up. This is Nishida 243. Switch hit debut. This is Astros 245. Forget what that one is. And Knicks championship, which I believe we already opened because they are weird with tracking. Excels at both sides of the plate. Man, I'm so happy for the White Sox this year. Looks like this is only Nishida. And I am a little confused about some of these. I'll get the envelope situation figured out. But Nishida. Five base. This is Otani 256. That I think is just SSK on that one. Murakami 257. That may be a personal card for me. And Sanchez 258. That one is looks like 10th floor ski and nope, that's 283. Yeah, we'll see. Ooh. Burl, you're Saturday during the baseball season. Now I have a Dodger card in here. Oh, yeah, it's Otani. Yeah, QC on now cards are usually quite good. This one looks a little weird. I got a 5-pack of an NBA now card. I don't do that very often. It was personal. It was a Brunson, and the first time I've seen the foil just straight up falling off of the card. I asked for a replacement and was granted it quickly. I don't have it yet, but they told me they would send it. But it was pretty bad. What the heck? Oh my goodness. Okay, you guys can be my witness. This is our packing list. This is the card that was in the box. We're supposed to have a lucky hit. What in the world? Okay. This Otani matches up. There was no other cards in here. What? Tops? What the heck? So this should have been Yamamoto, and I'm assuming that's Otani. Doesn't tell us what the lucky hit is. Okay, so I need to square that away. I don't know what's happening. This card number, good question. Oh, geez. Okay. I'm sorry. Thank you. This is the SP. Okay. That makes a whole lot more sense. SSK. Thank you, Burl. It's as simple as that. The SP has one player. That's what threw me off. 256 SP, and I believe SSK is the sole owner of this card. That is why we have a 0 quantity on the base, and our lucky hit is a number 1. SSK. I really decided to make that about Topps having issues and not about the fact that you hit the SP Shohei. I do remember seeing that the SPs were player specific. So there was a Yamamoto and there was an Ohtani. Yeah, that's Yamamoto pitching as the SP. Card number 256 SP. Thank you for that. Those are both Ohtani. I'm a moron. It's not a dual card. It's Ohtani and Ohtani. Pitcher, hitter. Yeah, you can go ahead and skip the highlight reel. Highlight the fact that we hit the SP, not the fact that I decided to change the subject. SSK is going to like that card. We were having a good now day. Topps did a good job. Good job, Topps. I did not have a mimosa, I promise. I'm very happy, seriously, joking aside, that we hit the SP for SSK, specifically on Mr. Ohtani. This should be Sanchez, and this one is 283. Longest scoreless innings pitched by a lefty. 10th floor, Skeeta Street, A-Law. There were extra spots in this. I don't know if we have any Phillies guys on, but... DMX, tell us more. Sanchez. Again, Topps now. QC has been poor as of late. I'm going to show what I'm talking about with the foil. I think these Sanchez cards will flatten out in a top loader, but we generally don't see these Bode cards for the Topps now. At least the foil's still on them. Yeah, I wondered that about. Tell us more about FanFest, because I have wondered. This is Mr. Cole Young and Troy Taylor for Burl. I love the idea, but I'm a little scared. I'm sorry, Tommy Troy. What did I say? I said Troy Taylor. Tommy Troy to Burl. Ooh, cool story. No, story about Fanatics Fest. Tommy Troy. Colt Emerson with a 4-hit game. Happened to see someone on Facebook, of all places, which I don't even go to very often, asking about Colt Emerson because they, I think, coached him a long time ago, like younger level coached. I think that was the story. Looking for cards, don't know cards well, and I am going to hook them up with some now cards, which I'm pretty excited about. Because I was like, well, he doesn't have any major league cards yet outside of now. There's Taylor and Colt Emerson. Oh, that's awesome, dude. So I'm assuming he liked it. This next one should be Cooper Flag, Rookie of the Year, and I think this is just me and Judge Howell. for a 2-carder. Yeah, my worry was the lines and the crowds, because I'm weird like that. I'm getting old or something. The event itself sounds amazing. Any pictures you want to share would be awesome. All rookie flag. It's trying to be sapphire with the confetti coming down. That's awesome. Me and Judge on that one. Absolutely. I think we have one more after this. 2 base on flag. And the last one is Bryce Eldridge. Walk-off grand slam. I think this might be a single 2 for Gnar. Bryce Eldridge walk-off slam. Youngest player ever to hit a walk-off grand slam. I think that's the base. They don't always do the back photo, so sometimes I think it's going to be better than it is. Gnar with Mr. Eldridge. And that is all I have at the moment. If anybody wants any packs or Stadium Club blasters that are sitting in packs to stacks, let me know. Nothing doing there. Couple of Tops Now hits. I do have the Stadium Club blasters, yeah. I had one claim that I think is shipping, but yeah, I've still got a bunch. And everything else that's in packs to stacks. Burl. You just watched him pull a hammy? Yeah, they're right next to me. I think that's Shinjiro. Absolutely, dude. One at the top, 3 at the bottom. Or if you don't like those boxes, I have more. He didn't pull a hammy in his debut, did he? Bottom box. Yeah, you got it, man. This was a fun card show find. When they came out, I think they were either 25 or 29. I don't know if this particular vendor was selling higher, but I scooped up the rest of them when they were on sale. So that is not the price we were paying. Good luck, sir. Where's my... There we go. Grayson Rodriguez. Joe Mauer. Larkin. Rhett Lauder. That rookie thing is way off. Jose Ramirez. Oh, you're talking... Okay, I got it. Troy Taylor versus Tommy Troy. Ooh, there's a nice green. Look at that. Behind Pedro and behind Garrett Cole. Spencer Schwallenbach. I thought it was going to be a Dodger for some reason. On the retail green. Tatis. Yuri Perez, because I haven't opened Stadium Club in a while. I forget which ones are actually base because they all look like they're hits. Let's get you a Dodger. Nice Savage Sluggers coming up. Benintendi. Trey Turner. Nick Kurtz on the Savage Sluggers. Jake DeGrom and Frankie Alvarez. I do like that insert. I think they did have IVs, short checklist if I remember correctly. But they're sometimes hard to spot. Mick Abel, that's a perfect example, because in other products that would have been, nope, that's base. That would have been an IV. Luis Arias, let me just double check that code. 394 is the last three on the base. Buxton Green. Mason Wynn. Luis Angel Acuna, I remember that one well because I like the framing behind him with Mr. and Mrs. Met. I think Mr. and Mrs. Met took the last train for the coast. A little Don McLean humor. Paul Skeens. Christian Campbell. I want to say Sepia, right? Mike Trout. Have we had 0 Dodgers so far? Buster Posey. See, that's what I'm talking about. Those home plate ones are awesome. Is he actively stealing? No, he's scoring, I guess. Matt Chapman receiving his award. Poor Mets. There we go. Stanton. Sagano. Put your shoes on, man. Stephen Kwan. Julio Rodriguez. Luis Castillo. Also with trade rumors swirling around him, which I don't fully understand. Ooh, in case of emergency. Mark McGuire. Matt Olson. I'm going to come back to that one. In case of emergency, break glass, Joey Votto. Garrett Crochet and Chase Madroth. And the reason I want to go back to it is... Am I getting Matt Olson? Oh, I'm getting Matt Olson and Matt Chapman confused. That's what the problem is. I'd rather have Castillo in the pen than trade him. Thank you. So would I. I don't get what we're gonna get for him that helps us that much. Unless we tank and then we're selling. Caden Dana. Jackson Churio, also a nice framing. Brian Woo. Green. George Brett and Spencer Strider. Shinjiro, did we literally open an entire blaster and not get a Dodger? Am I forgetting someone? You have some cool cards, but I don't think we got one Dodger in that whole blaster. Is that possible? They had a big checklist, too. Get out of here. I found you the one blaster without a Dodger in it. I'm convinced that's the only one in existence. And now I've taken it off the market. That's crazy. I mean, I get it. It's not a huge card volume, but wow. Yeah, Donovan played last night, right? In Tacoma. Shinjiro, that's kind of lame. I'm sorry. You did okay in the break, but the blaster not so much. Anybody else want any packs or boxes? I'll pull you a blaster with everything but your team in it. I'm going to try to reserve judgment until something actually happens, but Shinjiro, I appreciate the blaster. Yeah, I want to say I started with 8. I held a couple for myself. I think I started with 8. I had 1 claim and then yours, so 6. I think I have 6 unclaimed remaining. I can double check. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. All right, folks. If there is nothing else, I will bid you a happy Saturday. We'll be back in 5 days for Chrome release day. And I've got another pick your team ready to post. I'll do that shortly. I appreciate you guys. Burl, have fun at the game. Kool-Aid, my pleasure, dude. Thanks for joining as always. Nice card you got there. You too. Thanks, guys.